Thailand's government is expected to downgrade the COVID-19 disease status. AirAsia CEO disagrees with the Thai government's so-called tourism tax, and Japan donates cute-looking trains to Thailand. All this is coming up in today's program. You're watching Thailand News Today, bringing you the latest top stories in Thailand and beyond. My name is Jet Gunther, and in our first story, Thailand's government is expected to downgrade the COVID-19 disease status starting October the 1st. Public Health Minister Anutin Charnvirakul made the announcement, saying that the disease will be classified as a communicable disease under surveillance. Until now, the COVID-19 disease was classified as a dangerous communicable disease, but Anutin says the current situation has been deemed suitable for regrading. In February of 2020, the virus was classified as a dangerous disease in order to enable the Thai authorities to react swiftly to contain the spread. As of Wednesday, the number of patients who need oxygen supplies had dropped to 300, while most fatalities were from those with underlying health conditions. The health minister says the government is still footing the bill for those with mild and severe COVID symptoms. He says long-acting antibody doses have been distributed to hospitals and medical centers nationwide. Such doses are meant for vulnerable groups like senior citizens and those with underlying conditions like kidney patients. AirAsia X's chief executive disagrees with the Thai government's proposal of a tourism fee on flights. Tony Fernandez, the acting group chief executive of AirAsia X, says instead that the government should bank on the influx of travelers as aiding the economy. He says the tourism fee would have a smaller impact on the economy than an increase on tourism. Since COVID ravaged the company's profits, Fernandez says it has rebounded strongly after completing a debt restructuring back in March. He went further to say that although China's borders remain closed, AirAsia X can return to profitability as new airline routes are being planned to Europe next year. London and Istanbul are among the routes to be planned, while Vienna, Budapest, and Prague will join the routes to Eastern Europe. Fernandez says that as Malaysia starts to reopen, AirAsia X Berhad will see a full recovery of seat capacity by the second quarter of 2023, matching the top line at pre-pandemic levels by the second half of the same period. And if China reopens, the added bonus will be huge for the company's growth. However, he says Thailand may be hampered in its recovery as complicated entry restrictions have slowed it down initially. But with the Thailand Pass and other requirements being lifted in July, travel demand has increased as tourists were no longer deterred.
Thinking of investing, but don't know where to start? Ever heard of AAA-FX?
What is AAA-FX?
Good question. Look no further than AAA-FX, your choice for trading and investing. Low commissions and spread with fast execution. They're trustworthy and have been offering services since 2008. You can invest using various deposit methods including crypto with negative balance protection and 100% matching deposit bonus. Choose AAA-FX and enter the lucrative market of trading. Visit AAAFX.com.
Seven firefighters are in the hospital after a wall collapsed onto them while they put out a huge blaze at a warehouse in Bangkok last night. At 9:30 p.m. yesterday, officers at Bangkok police station received a report that a fire had engulfed a warehouse on Ratburana Soi 15 in the Bangkok district of Bangkok. Firefighters rushed to the scene and started to extinguish the blaze, which covered 8,000 square meters of land. Firefighters reported hearing intermittent explosions from inside the building, which was made out of cement with a large iron door at the entrance. While firefighters sprayed water onto the flames, the back wall of the warehouse collapsed, falling on top of 7 firefighters. All 7 were badly injured and taken to the hospital. No deaths have been reported so far. It took 2 hours to get the fire under control. The superintendent of Bangkok police station said that products for online shopping platforms such as face masks and cloths are mass-produced at the warehouse, acting as the perfect fuel for the fire. The total damages have not yet been calculated. Today, authorities will inspect the warehouse again to look for the exact cause of the fire. Bangkok's heaviest rains in over 2 decades are pushing its canals to the brink. Governor Chachat Siripan said Bang Khen district has reported 170 millimeters of rain since Tuesday, which has been the highest amount in 20 years. Klong Lat Prao and Klong Prem Prachakon canals have seen water levels rising to the point of causing massive flooding. The Bang Khen roundabout and areas surrounding the new electric train route tracks have all flooded. The government has attributed part of the flooding to the new tracks as drainage has slowed. He says the government is doing the best it can to drain the floodwaters off the roads, but high water levels at the canals have made it difficult. Chachat is urging motorists to plan trips around the weather, as he says poor planning has caused many motorists to get stuck in flooded areas. The government has advised residents in Bang Khen, Lat Prao, Don Mueang, and Jatujak to stay alert as more heavy rain is expected. Heavy rainfall and flash flooding are expected to continue until tomorrow all over Thailand. Meanwhile, the Thai cabinet yesterday approved a budget of almost 1.6 billion baht to deal with Thailand's perpetual flood problems. Some 912 million baht has been set aside for water management during the rainy and drought seasons, while 664 million baht has been allocated for new water pumps. On Tuesday, the State Railway of Thailand conducted a trial run of a cute white and purple locomotive donated by Japan. It is one of 17 Kiha 183 passenger trains donated by the Hokkaido Railway Company, which will be used for short tourism routes as soon as next month. Governor of the SRT, Nirut Manipan, said the trains will hopefully be ready to take tourists from Bangkok to places such as Sayok Falls in Kanchanaburi, Hua Hin, or the Pasak Dam in Lopburi as soon as October. He said SRT hopes the Kiha 183 trains will play a big part in promoting tourism in Thailand and will offer tourists a brand new experience. 3 of the 17 diesel-powered trains delivered in December last year are ready for trial runs after being modified by the SRT to fit Thai railways. The first trial run was successfully completed yesterday from Bangkok's Makassan Maintenance Yard to Cha Cheung Sao Station in eastern Thailand. The SRT paid 42.5 million baht to have the trains shipped over from Japan and will pay a further 200,000 baht on each train to have it modified to fit Thailand's tracks. Nirut says it's 400 times cheaper than buying a new train, which could cost about 100 million baht. The air-conditioned trains can travel up to 110 kilometers per hour. 8 of the trains can seat 40 passengers, another 8 can seat 68 passengers, and 1 train can seat 53. Nirut said 13 trains should be ready to take tourists on short trips this year, some as soon as next month. The remaining trains will be completely overhauled with new wheels, bearings, engines, electrical systems, brakes, and air conditioning so they can be used for long-haul services, a task which could take up to 2 years. The trains will be in use for another 15 to 20 years. And that's all for our report from Thailand News Today. The show will be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Thai time. Meanwhile, stay tuned for Good Morning Thailand at 10 a.m. Thai time, where Natty, Jay, and Sarah go live and discuss the morning's top stories. See you there.